Great morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Hey, Periscope. Whether you guys are watching live or you're watching the replay of this message, my prayer is that something that I say will bless you, that it will touch you, and that it will help you to get to that next place in your journey and in your life. Listen, I wanted to share some things with you, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this banner up. Um, so that you all will have it, because once I start driving, I'm not going to be able to. But I really just need to have a moment of transparency as you're driving with Dr. V, right? So as I slide out of my new garage and let down the garage door, I want to talk to you all about fight through anyway. Fight through anyway. We talk about change. We talk about wanting change, needing change. We talk about the glorious beauty of change. But even when you know change is necessary, it doesn't make change easy. Even when you know change is needed, it doesn't make it easy. And I'm saying this because sometimes we confuse, hold on, y'all. Sometimes we confuse what's necessary, and we think that because it's necessary and we want it, and it has to happen, that it automatically means that it's going to be easy. And I came to encourage someone who is going through change. You've had to make some changes, you've had to do some things, you've had to make some decisions, and it was hard. It was hard to make the decisions, it was hard to make the moves. All of that was hard, but you did it anyway. And the world may look at you and it may look like it was easy. But it wasn't easy. That you're really, like, it's tough, it's hard, it hurts. All of those are very real and valid things, you guys. But fight through anyway. My God. And give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel, to go through what you go through. Give yourself permission. My friends tell me all the time, Dr. V, we know you don't want to hear it, but you're human. And when you live your life and you live your life being operating like a superhero, right? I love superhero stories. And the reason I love superhero stories is that no matter what personal thing that the superhero is going through, they still have to show up to save the world. Still have to show up to save the people. They still have to show up. And it's a necessary part of the job. Doesn't mean that they don't feel things. They always go through these inner turmoils. They always go through relationship challenges. They always go through conflicts and resolutions. They always go through those things, but they fight through anyway. They fight through it. They press through it. They move through it. They go through it. And the world doesn't know they're going through it. I wanted to come on and just share with you guys that no matter what you're going through, no matter how difficult it is, fight through it anyway, because there are still people in this world waiting for you to show up. There's still people in this world who need you. There's still people in this world who are in a place where they are anticipating your presence, anticipating your words, anticipating what you're going to say next or do next that's going to inspire them to take themselves, their lives, and their businesses to the next level. They're anticipating that you're going to be there. And in their anticipation, they have set their sights on a particular destination, a destination that may seem out of their reach, but they look at you and they say, well, hey, if they did it, I can do it. A destination that may feel a little overwhelming to them, but they say, hey, but if they did it, I can do it. A destination that they may not have otherwise tried to reach, but they watched you and they said, listen, I can do this. I can make it. I can make it happen. This journey called life, man, it's not easy, but you've got to decide, are you going to live or are you going to die? You have to make that determination. You have to make that decision. No one else can make that decision for you. And yes, you can allow the things that are happening in your life to overwhelm you, overtake you, sink you into a pit of depression, make you give up on life, or you can fight anyway. Fight anyway because it's worth it. Fight anyway because people are watching and waiting for you to get there. Fight anyway. Just fight through it. And if you fight through the fear, if you fight through the hurt, if you just fight through, you're going to be surprised what happens on the other side. So when you guys hear me and you hear me talk about what God did in my business, when you hear me and you watch me and you see me share my new home, I need you to know that it didn't come without a fight. It didn't come without a price. And the difference between me and many of you that are still sitting there stuck right where you are is that I'm willing to pay the price. And that price is the price of hurt, sadness, frustration, pressing through the fear, sometimes feeling overwhelmed. And I'm not saying that you don't do it at all, but you won't make the ultimate step, the step that God is really calling you to make, the step that's going to cause the breakthrough, because you're actually afraid. You're afraid of people walking away. You're afraid of having to leave people. You're afraid of whether or not you're going to make it once you step out. You're simply afraid of what's going to happen next because it is uncertain. Well, let me tell you what I am absolutely certain about. When you make that step, you will have to walk away from some people. And I promise you, it won't be easy. And it will hurt. And there will be pain attached to it. But it's necessary. I promise you, there will be times when you feel overwhelmed. And it won't be fun. And you'll have to dig deep into the word of God, into your faith, into what God has told you, what God has promised you, and who God has made you to be, and able to press through it. And you will feel fear, but do it scared, do it afraid. And that's the problem. We're so scared. We're so scared that we won't move because we're scared. Stop allowing fear to paralyze you. Stop allowing fear to grip you. Move afraid. Do it afraid. Do it even though it hurts. But do it. So do it and feel the emotion. Do it and feel the emotion. I tell you, in the midst of the move and all of the amazing things that have been going on, I feel something. Yes, I feel the joy of my accomplishments, the joy of making the move, the joy of all of that. But I also feel a sadness. And it's hard for me to allow myself to feel that sadness. It's hard for me to allow myself to be human, but I am. I'm grateful that I have friends around me who remind me that it's okay to be human. It's okay to feel. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to cry. It's okay. And I want to encourage you guys, don't stop your journey because you don't want to feel, because you don't want to feel afraid. You don't want to feel overwhelmed. You don't want to feel sad. You don't want to feel those things. Fight through anyway. Just fight through and listen. Know that God has surrounded you with people who will pray for you, who will cover you, who will push you, who will say it's okay, but do it anyway. Success is not for the faint of heart. Success is not for those who just want to be content. It's not, and it's going to cost you. I'm telling you up front, it's going to cost you. Relationships, it's going to cost you. Places, it's going to cost you. Comfort, it's going to cost you. Sometimes security, it's going to cost you. But if you really want success, go for it anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I can't live an ordinary existence. And that's why I do what I do, because I cannot live an ordinary existence because I am not ordinary. And all of the superhero that resides within me, rises up and says, hey, this real regular. And I can't do regular. That may mean that some people say I'm overboard and I do too much, and they may say all of those things. But I know this, that I have an obligation to show up in the world the way God has created me, to impact the lives of the people who are watching, who are looking for a glimmer of hope. They're looking for an opportunity. They're looking, they're seeking, they're searching for someone to show them the way, right? To show them the way to fight through, to get on the other side of poverty. Poverty is not of God. It is not. I was so glad I was on our prayer call this morning, and my amazing diamond, Mr. Clavon Browning, said that that is a sin. Poverty is a sin. We're not created to live in poverty. We are not. And yet sometimes we feel like it's our portion. It is not your portion and it is not my portion, but it's going to require you to push, to get through, to break out on the other side. So tonight I'm doing my class, Corona Proof Your Income. And I'm going to be talking about the journey and how you do it and how I was able to make over 30,000 during the pandemic. And let me tell you something. I need y'all to hear me real clearly. I need y'all to hear me real clearly. When you've been asking God for answers, and you've been asking God for solutions, and you've been asking God for someone who will just share with you what they know. Don't pass on that. Come on, y'all. Don't pass on it. Understand that it may not come in the package. It may not come in the package that you expect. It may not come from the person that you expect. But when God sends someone to share that with you, take it, grab hold, learn the lessons, get the information, and change your life. It's necessary. It's necessary. So on today, I came to tell you to fight through it anyway. And that's literally what I'm doing. I got up this morning and I said, I've got to go work out. I knew I was going to be late. I'm even later. But I said, I got to fight through it anyway. I've got to work out. I haven't worked out since before I moved. I've got to work out. I've got too much going on inside of me. I've got to work out. I've got to get my neurotransmitters firing right. I've got to get those endorphins flowing. I've got to do it because it is a part of my way of fighting through it. So today I'm going to fight through it anyway. And I encourage you to fight through it anyway. And join me tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Corona Proof Your Income. So I can share with you how I Corona Proof my income. You go to bit.ly/Corona Proof Income. Yeah, it's going to cost you this thing called success. It will, but it's going to be worth it. Let me tell you this before I leave. Sometimes you think that it's just you. You know, you think it's just you. You think that you're the only one who needs the change, the shift, whatever. But let me tell you what happened. I've been blown away by my youngest son. Been blown away by him. He's the one that we struggle to get to clean his room, wash the dishes right. Like he ain't trying to do no cleaning. Okay, he's truly his mama's son, right? So when we made our move, he said, my room is a no shoes zone. You cannot wear your shoes in my room. And I was like, okay. We're going down the steps, and where things have been coming up, there was stuff on the steps. And he said, Mom, we need a broom because there's stuff on the floor. I said, we do need a broom, baby. I said, I've got to get a broom. Thank God for my friend who brought me a whole care package, broom, mop, bucket, that stuff. Then he says, Mom, do you want to know why I'm down here in the kitchen? I said, well, why are you down here, son? He said, because there's no eating in my room. This is the child where we always found dishes and trash and food in his room. He said, my room, there'll be no eating in my room. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Sometimes a simple change in environment will change behaviors. Sometimes a simple change in environment will change behaviors. So if you find yourself behaving in certain ways, check your environment, because it may be that you need to change your environment so that you can automatically go into a different type of behavior. You all, change is necessary. Doesn't feel good, but necessary. Fight through and do it anyway, and watch what God does. Listen, I love you guys. To life and life more abundant. May God continually bless everything that you put your hands to. And remember, just fight through anyway. Be blessed.